Hi, boys and girls. It's so good to see you. We're here today to talk about questions. We all have so many questions that we like to ask. You sit around and you just start to wonder, what's for dinner, Mom? What show should I watch on TV? Those questions just pop in your head. And a lot of times at school, we have to answer a lot of questions that your teachers give you to answer. But isn't there time when you just want to answer your own questions? And then you want to be able to find out how to answer them? That's what we're going to talk about today. Some of the questions that I have just floating around in my head are, how long will I have to stay home with this new learning? What should I have for dinner? That's a question we ask every morning. First thing in the morning, we get up and think, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? And then I was thinking, I've been home a lot and I've been doing so much schoolwork, but I really love to have a good book to read. What new book should I read? I have other questions too. They've kind of been in my head, especially in these last couple days. When will it be warm enough to plant my garden? Another question I might have, how can I make a book? I want you to take a minute now, and I want you to think of some questions. I'm going to tell you to press the pause button, and I want you to stop the video. And I want you to think, and I want you to come up with 3, 4, maybe 5 questions that are floating around in your head right now. So I want you to take your cursor, and I want you to press the pause button, and then I want you to get back and come back, and we'll share some of your questions. Go ahead, press the pause button. Well, welcome back. Take a look at those questions. All questions have answers that might be available to you. Okay? So, if I can ask a question that I need to find the answer to, like, what day is Christmas this year? Or who wrote Matilda? I can research that answer. Somewhere out there is the answer to my question. I can research it. I can look online. I can ask somebody. I can use a calendar. Many different ways of finding an answer to my question. And then there are some questions that we'll never have an answer to. Never have an answer to a question. Like, what would it have been like if it had snowed this winter? Not this summer. What would it have been like if it had snowed this winter? Well, we'll never know because it didn't snow this winter. Or what would be different if I had gone to a different school to teach? Well, we'll never know that answer because it's already happened. Questions that we ask about the future sometimes can't be answered either because we won't be around to find out. Okay? So there are questions that we will never get an answer to. And then we have questions that we might find out later. We will find the answer to them later. Like my question, what's for dinner? I will find that out later. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at my questions. Back to my questions. All right. And let's see. How long will I have to stay home? Well, hopefully we will get that answer later. We'll just have to wait and see. The answer will eventually come. What should I have for dinner? Well, if I'm not sure, I can research that. I can go to my recipe books. I can go online. I can ask my husband what he really wants to eat. I might even have to research what's in my refrigerator or freezer. And then I can do the same. I need a good book to read. I can research that. I can ask a friend. I can look on my bookshelf and I will find my answer. So, what I'd like you to do now is press pause. I want you to look at your questions and I want you to decide, are these questions research questions, never answer questions, or questions you might just have to wait a while to find the answer to? Sorry, something fell. After you've paused and checked that and marked your answer, your sentences, your questions, I want you to press the play button and come back and join me. Okay, so go ahead and pause. Mark your answer, your questions as research, never, or later, and then come back. Press the play button when you're ready. Well, welcome back. Now that you've marked your answers, and I've marked mine, I'm going to send you off to do some research. I want you to look at your questions that you've asked, and I want you to go out and research the answer. There are plenty of places online that you can do this. There are great websites you can go out and check. You can maybe check for some of your answers on Kids National Geographic, or you could go to PebbleGo. You could try to find your answers by doing using other resources online. So today you're going to look at your questions, find the ones that you've decided are researchable, and you're going to do some research. When you get your answer, you can write it down. You can draw a picture and be ready to share it with us. Thank you and have a great day. Have fun researching those questions, and maybe you'll even think of some more as you continue your questioning.